Hey everybody, Uncle Rich here for Who's Telling the Truth. Guys, today is 8/21/17. It was the day of the eclipse, and I tell you, I enjoyed it. It's all about science. You know, we knew exactly when the eclipse was going to happen. The scientists told us, just like the scientists have told us about global warming. And guys, the name of this is show 184, and the name of the show is The Shunning. Guys, we're going to do a little takeoff on Jack Nicholson, when he did The Shining. And the reason why is because what's happening with the Republican Party and the fact that they've almost become possessed with Trump. And my good buddy, our good buddy and friend, Uncle Joey, when I started giving him the business about Nazis, Uncle Joey went over the edge. I have never seen, me, Uncle Joey, we insult each other all the time. We insult each other's ideas. We're Facebook friends. That's what we do. We attack each other's ideas. Guys, this is such a sore point with Uncle Joey that he said, Rich, if you were in front of me right now, we'd be fighting. And guys, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to try to learn, and I'm here to try to help people learn. And guys, we're going to show you something, I'll tell you. There's some crap that don't float in my toilet. And I'm not kidding when I say that. And this first video is gonna prove to you what doesn't float in Uncle Rich's toilet. So Judy, let's have clip number 1, please.
Yes. Right here on the corner.
This is hard to believe. This is America?
Let's go see what they have to say about the Nazi flag. Well, they got a Trump sticker on their truck.
They got a Trump sticker on their pickup truck.
Hey, what's up with the Nazi flag?
Who are you? What's that goddamn flag got to do with you?
Why do you have a
What's
Nazi
it to you?
flag?
Do you make the payments on this fucking house?
No, I don't.
Okay, don't fucking worry about it.
Why do you have a Nazi flag up?
What's it to you?
Because this is America, not Nazi Germany.
Well, don't worry about it. You get your ass in your car and get the hell out of here, best thing I can tell you. What kind of flag do you fly?
I fly a rainbow flag, thank you.
Okay, so what does that tell me about you?
That I'm not a Nazi?
I'm not a Nazi either. This is Nazi fucking America.
Is it? Do you think that Trump, had something to do with all of this?
If you don't get the hell out of here,
Okay.
me and you's gonna have trouble.
Okay.
I promise you that.
I'm sure we would. Okay.
Take your queer ass on, lesbian ass on, big fat fucking ass on, and go on.
You had a choice. All right. I'm going right now. So that's what that was. Nazi with a big fat Trump sticker on the back of his truck.
What did you think? Guys, it almost looks to me like it was staged. And I'd almost have to say it is staged. I mean, this woman, I can't believe that she had the Galaducci's to drive onto this guy's property and tell him off. I mean, she's really got him if this is the truth. But guys, this is what is so vehement about this whole thing. To have the audacity to fly a Nazi swastika on, now hey, you have the right to free speech and you could fly whatever flag you want. But after what we've seen and what we've gone through with the Nazis and World War II and the Jews and the concentration and the death and the pestilence and everything that went along with Nazism, and to have Trump and his right-wing cronies to fly these flags to insult the Americans. And guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you, because Judy, can we have still number 02? And now this is, guys, I'm going to read this definition of shunned and what shunned is. And as I'm reading this, Judy is going to put in some stills of Nazis with their swastika flags and the simple folk filled with the hate. So we're going to see shun. It's a verb, past tense, shunned, past participle, shunned. Persistently avoid, ignore, or reject someone or something through antipathy or caution. He shunned fashionable societies. Synonyms: avoid, evade, eschew, steer clear of, shy away from, fight shy of, keep one's distance from, give a wide berth to, have nothing to do with, snub, give someone the cold shoulder, ignore, look right through, reject, rebuff, spurn, ostracize, informal, give someone the brush off, freeze out, give someone the bum's rush, give someone the brush off. And guys, the Urban Dictionary says the Amish expression of excluding from society, not spoken to, not looked at, not responded to, and completely ignored. And guys, that's the only possible thing that I can say that how we want to treat these people. I mean, when you're waving a flag of hate, there's only one thing we can do. We have to completely ignore you. And I tell you what, I hope Trump and the Republican Party, I hope you guys shoot yourself in the foot so many times with this hate and what you're trying to do to divide this country. And this is what makes me angry. The fact that you go after our veterans and the people that died for this country, the people that fought against the Nazi regime. And now all of a sudden you're gonna start to back them? Come on, Uncle Joey, I could see why you're mad. I can understand why you're upset. Because you know Trump pushed it. He went over the limit, and not even most of the diehard Trump fans are saying, wait, this is too much for me. I can't take it anymore. That crap don't float in my toilet. And Judy, let's, talking about veterans, the next clip we're going to show you is from a Jewish World War II bomber pilot. Can you imagine? How do you think he feels when he sees Americans waving the Nazi flag on American soil? What do you think goes through his mind? Guys, you don't have to think anymore. We got the clip. So, Judy, clip number 4,
what
please.
The Nazis stood for. I hate it in Germany. I hate it when it's here in the United States even more. I'm a Jewish American war veteran. I was a bomber pilot during World War II. I flew 35 missions over Germany. Things that Donald Trump is saying are an appeal to hatred. I don't think that he should have been appealing to what they call the alt-right. I always get confused by the term alt-right. These people are a different form of fascists. I would fight them again if I were able to, just as I did when I was fighting the Nazis in Germany.
Guys, when you promote hate like this, when you stand with people like Trump and the Republican Party and the alt-right movement, there's consequences. That's right, there are consequences. And now we're going to play a clip from a local TV station, and they're going to show us how being a Nazi can cause you to lose your business. So guys, we're going to meet the owner of the business, who not only gives the Nazi salute, but he's got a Nazi tattoo, and now he doesn't have a business. He's got no employees. He gave it all away. And why? Because he thought that hate was a joke. Guys, this is not a joke. This is not something to play with. This is something we're going to squash. When you see people like this, what do? You shun them. You don't give them the time of day. You don't say hi to them. You can't be, you just completely ignore, like they don't exist. Because we can't live like this. We can't live like this. So Judy, let's see what happens to a local businessman who went over the edge defending Trump and Nazism. Number 5, Judy.
A string of racially charged incidents have come to light in West Michigan. It all comes in the wake of the deadly violence last weekend during a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia.
I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm trying to think of all the names I've been called.
Tonight, a local business owner is defending himself after being labeled a Nazi and a white supremacist on social media. Kraft Draft to Go in Kalamazoo was vandalized overnight and is flanked by protesters today after the Facebook photos went viral.
And News Channel 3's Rachel Glazer spoke with the bar owner and is live now to tell us what he has to say. Rachel.
Well, tonight there's a new Facebook group calling for this place to close, but as you can see, it's already shut down. The co-owner at the center of this controversy says he's not sure when it will reopen, but because of death threats, he probably won't be around when it does.
The public is crucifying me, so.
Aaron Van Arsdale says he did post the photos that are now part of a collage that sparked a call to boycott his business. A Facebook post that's now been shared more than 3,000 times. One of the pictures shows a swastika on his forehead. Another shows Van Arsdale doing the Nazi salute.
Not anything I've ever stood for. I've never been a Nazi. Just attempt at humor, bad judgment. So I probably should never put that on Facebook.
There's also the image of a swastika in the middle of a blood-spattered Star of David. It's just not one photo. You see, this is what people are seeing.
I understand, yeah.
So how do you explain that?
Again, I'm not a Nazi. Bad humor.
But the picture sparked outrage, not laughter. Vandals wrote, "Get out Nazi scum" on the windows of Kraft Draft to Go, the Kalamazoo bar Van Arsdale co-owns.
Employees are scared. I don't really feel safe.
Since the post, musical acts have come out to say they'll no longer perform at the bar, and some breweries are also talking about pulling their beers from his business.
You know, I made a mistake. I'm going to own up to it. I hope the business will succeed without me.
In response to the backlash, Van Arsdale says it looks like he will step away from the bar and leave it in the hands of his business partner. Van Arsdale says he's learned a lot in the last 24 hours, and he hopes that this starts conversations to ease political and racial tensions in Kalamazoo. But right now, those photos are gaining national attention as they spread across the internet. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Rachel Glazer, News Channel.
Well, at least he was man enough to man up and apologize and to admit that he made a mistake. Cost him his business. You know, I don't know how long he worked for it, but it cost him his business, and guess what? Hey, that's the price you pay. But, you know, he lost his business. The next clip we're going to show you, this kid lost his education. And you're going to say, what do you mean he lost his education? Guys, listen carefully to the clip. And at one point, he says he went to the alt-right rally because he wants to fundamentally transform the country. He wants to fundamentally transform the country to what? A Nazi regime? Is that what he wants? But now he can't. He's not going to school. He's too embarrassed to go to school, too ashamed to go to school. So, Judy, let's show why Nicholas Fuentes isn't going to Boston College this year. Clip number 6.
I was supposed to be entering Boston University for my sophomore year, but in response to recent death threats and threats against my physical safety, I decided that that might not be the best idea. It's disturbing to me the level of hate that people have been able to express and been able to feel against someone they've never met, never saw, never had a conversation with. They say that we're the hateful ones, we're the bigots, and I get messages all day long from people I've never met telling me what a terrible person I am. There's no hate on this side, I hate no one. I would never do anything like that, and so I think it's a little bit upsetting that the political climate is the way it is. My reason for going down to Charlottesville over the weekend was to demonstrate. It was to show solidarity for a cause which has not been talked about in the mainstream media, which the American people never got a vote on, and that is the fundamental transformation of the composition of our.
So he goes to a hate rally, and now he wonders why there's retributions. Hey, he's got to pay the piper. And you know what? Hopefully, everybody will start to understand. And when Uncle Joey wants to support him in the Republican Party, you could say, hey, Joey, take a hike, pal. We've had it with your nonsense. We're done. We're finished. You excommunicated yourself from the human race. When you started waving Nazi flags in America, that's it. You cut the cord, baby. You're done. I know. But Joey is so full of hate for the Democratic Party and anything with a D that he'll still stand with the Republicans. But guys, if there's one thing that happens, it's that the Republican Party tries to divide and conquer. And it didn't start last week, and it didn't start last year. It started a long time ago. And watch what happens. And this one video puts all the pieces together. So, Judy, let's have number 7, please.
I happen to know the facts. Now, friends, I'm just an average American. But I'm an American. And some of the things I see in this country of ours make my blood boil. I see people with foreign money. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me and you. Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America. Swallow seems to know what he's talking about.
What are we real Americans going to do about it? You'll find it right here in this little pamphlet. The truth about Negroes and foreigners. The truth about the Catholic Church.
Do you believe in that kind of talk?
It
makes pretty good sense to me.
And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners. Without Catholics. Without Freemasons. You know these things.
What's wrong with the Masons? I'm a Mason. Hey, that fellow's talking about me. And that makes a difference, doesn't it?
These are your enemies. These are the people who are trying to take over our country. Now you know them. You know what they stand for. And it's up to you and me to fight them. Fight them and destroy them before they destroy us. Thank you.
Before he said Masons, you were ready to agree with him. Well, yes, but he was talking about, what about those other people? But in this country, we have no other people. We are American people. What about you? You aren't American, right? I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin. What were you doing there? I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. So they split Germany into small groups. They used prejudice as a practical weapon to cripple the nation. Of course, that was not easy to do. They had to work hard to do it. You see, we human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us. Made by someone who wants something. Remember that when you hear this kind of talk. Somebody is going to get something out of it. And it isn't going to be you. This is not classroom theory. I saw it happen.
It's It's not classroom theory. It happened. Yeah. There was World War II, Uncle Joe. That's right. 6 million Jews were killed in concentration camps. Can't deny that. You can deny the science, but you can't deny the fact what happened to the Jews. And you know what the one guy said? He goes, there's no other people in America. We're all Americans. All right, so we're different colors, different creeds, different, you know, but we're all Americans. That's what makes us. We're diverse. And this is what drives me crazy, you know, and what happens is they try to build up the hate. And we're going to show you an example of hate where a Ku Klux Klan guy is talking to a black reporter. And guys, I just can't believe that one human being would treat another human being or even talk to another human being the way this bozo is talking to this reporter. So, Judy, let's have clip number 8, please. She's the first black person ever to set foot on their property.
Race! For nation! For the Ku Klux Klan!
When you look at me, what do you see?
I'm upset that I seen you. I mean, I see you every day, all your time. I've been here over 20 years, and we've never had a black person, or whatever you want to call yourself. You're a mongrel to me.
I am a black person.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Hispanic immigrant.
Whatever. But we've never had one. We don't let them around.
Are you going to chase me out of here?
No, we're going to burn you out.
Are you going to burn me out? How are you going to do it? How are you going to do with 11 million immigrants? Are you a hate group?
No.
How did you define yourself?
We find ourselves as a
I don't hate anyone.
Yeah, I don't hate anyone. We tell the Bible what the Bible says.
The Bible says that we were all born equal.
Leviticus 19:18 is what you're saying. Love thy neighbor. It says love thy neighbor of thy people. My people are white. Your people are black. I'm what I am. You're what you are.
Are you racist?
No.
Not a black person going to sit at my table and eat with me.
What about an immigrant?
It don't matter. 2 Peter says you're not allowed to break bread with them.
So you only eat with white people?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you know that you are 99% white or 100%
I know
white?
I'm 99.79.
It's not the skin color. It's on your DNA.
Look at
Do you know how your DNA?
Look at your eyes and look at mine.
What
I'm
happened?
way more superior than you'll ever be.
Our history preserved and left alone. But they keep taking our stuff away. If you keep taking our stuff away, white people are going to just going to result in violence because they're going to see no other option if the government don't stop.
Who is taking their stuff away? You know, it's just unbelievable. These poor, oppressed white people. You know? But guys, you know what happens? Trump starts to blow the hate whistle. And he does it very well, and what happens is his supporters seem to think that hate and fear are good. No, hate is never good. So let's hear how Trump blows the hate dog whistle. Judy, number 9, please.
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Get him out of here. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks.
The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast.
Shut up! Shut up! No, I would not. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
days, law enforcement acted a lot quicker than this. A lot quicker.
And we're going to enforce the law, and Americans should remember that if we're going to have it.
I am the law and order candidate.
You are a joke. Guys, I tell you, I just can't believe that he gets away with blowing the hate dog whistle. And, you get people that go out to Charlottesville and, they were intent on doing one thing, causing problems. They wanted to sell their hate. They wanted people to buy it. And guys, the exact opposite happened. The next clip we're going to show you, if you get an opportunity, it's on YouTube. You can go to Vice News, and you could watch Vice. They got the whole clip. It's like a 25-minute clip. And this is with Ellie Reeve. And Ellie Reeve is interviewed by Anderson Cooper. And he asked him questions about the intentions of the people that showed up, guys like Uncle Joe, who hate Democrats so much that they'd go out of their way and drive all this way just to promote hate. So Judy, let's start off with Ellie Reeve and clip number 10.
You were at this Tiki Torch March. Explain for us what you saw and the chants you heard.
Well, the most striking thing is how well organized it was. There was people doing crowd control. There were people dropping people off at specific locations. There was security. There were people handing out extra tiki torches. Everyone who was there knew exactly what they were signing up for.
When you say there was security, you mean there was security by the neo-Nazis, by the white supremacists, by the protesters?
That's right. They have a circle of mostly Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans who now do security for Richard Spencer and other white nationalist groups.
And when the president says that there were good people at this march, that they were quietly there to protest a removal of the Robert E. Lee statue, that not all of them were neo-Nazis or white supremacists, what do you think? Is that true?
No. Everyone who was there knew what they were doing. They were shouting, "Jews will not replace us." It was very well coordinated. They had an order to the chants. There was no mistaking. There was no innocent person wandering up and accidentally getting involved in this.
So there wasn't a contingent of hundreds of just, Confederate statue-loving Civil War history buffs who came later and happened to stumble in upon this neo-Nazi march. This was everybody who was there was part of this and knew exactly what they were doing.
That's right. They had a set time. They lined up. Everyone got in line. They got their torches. We saw them snake all the way through the field. It was very clear that they had planned this.
I just want to play another clip from your extraordinary reporting for our viewers. Let's watch this.
The car that struck a protester, that's unprovoked.
That's not true, and you know that it's not true. You've seen the video. So
I've seen a video. I don't know much about it.
I understand that
Can you describe what the video appears to show?
Okay, so the video appears to show someone striking that vehicle when these animals attacked him again, and he saw no way to get away from them except to hit the gas. And sadly, because our rivals are a bunch of stupid animals who don't pay attention, they couldn't just get out of the way of his car, and some people got hurt, and that's unfortunate.
So you think it was justified?
I think it was more than justified.
I'm wondering, is that a sentiment that was commonly described? Because obviously we have all seen the video, the incident in which Heather Heyer was killed, and we'll play it right now. What was going through your mind when this guy is saying that?
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I expected him to make excuses. I expected him to say that mentally ill people show up to these things or that accidents happen. But when he said that it was justified, I didn't know what to say, just as a human being.
In terms of the president's comments yesterday, I'm wondering how they're being perceived by some of the neo-Nazis, the white supremacists, the white nationalists that you've been speaking with.
They love it. the president continues to exceed the expectations of white nationalists. One texted me last night, "My God, I love this man. He really has our back."
So even though the president,
they are taking cues from them.
even though the president said, I condemn neo-Nazis, white supremacists, white nationalists, they don't believe he really believes that.
No, they're saying, oh, that's for the media, so the media will quiet down. But the real statement is that he's okay with them, at least in their interpretation. And that the real bad guys are the anti-fascists or the liberals.
Did you feel a danger being there? I mean, obviously, this is a group that's not favorably disclosed to reporters a lot.
Yes, they called me Lügenpresse. That's a Nazi term for lying press. They said really misogynistic things to me. Additionally, it was just 1,000 angry, foolish men with many, many guns. Cantwell, the man I interviewed, he carries 3 guns on his person at all times. In his hotel room, he had an AK and an AR-15, as well as several other weapons that he just keeps as extra backups in case something really bad happens.
I got to say, it really depresses me to hear that there are veterans of our great military providing security for one of these neo-Nazi, I don't know if leaders is the right word, but spokespeople, most prominent people.
I've spoken to some of them. It's shocking to me because people in the military must serve with people who look different, come from different backgrounds, and racism is not allowed. But they said that they were radicalized in Iraq, that you couldn't bring democracy there, and so that made them committed to this racist cause.
And I mean, it's a dumb question, but what are they so angry about? I mean, they're a bunch of young white males. What is it that they want? They just don't like black people, they don't like Jewish people, they don't like gay people, they don't like anyone who is not who they are?
As ridiculous as it sounds, they feel like they are the ones who are truly oppressed. They feel like Cantwell, for example, almost started crying to me when he was talking about tying race to IQ, and that's how somebody called him racist, and how hurtful that was to him, or how other people lost their jobs for being called racist. Like, they feel like they are under assault, and that white Western culture itself is under assault.
Ellie Reeve from Vice News, I really appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, these white guys feel like they're under attack, don't they? I mean, they feel like they're being oppressed. Everything's being taken away from them. And guys, you saw in part of that clip, there was Mr. Tough Guy. The guy carries 3 guns on him at all times. How insecure do you have to be to carry 3 guns on you? I mean, plus he's got the knives and the other stuff, and he's got the attack rifles. I mean, you got guys like Uncle Joey, they're over the edge. So let's see a little bit more about Mr. Tough Guy with clip number 11. Judy?
Case, it's some little black asshole behaving like a savage, and he gets himself in trouble, shockingly enough.
I want to be peaceful, I want to be law-abiding, okay? That was the whole entire point of this, and I'm watching CNN talk about this as violent white nationalist protests. We have done everything in our power to keep this peaceful.
Well, of course we're capable. I'm carrying a pistol. I go to the gym all the time. I'm trying to make myself more capable of violence.
Every step of the way, we've tried to do the right thing.
Whatever you think of my opinions, that's going to be something that puts you in danger.
Yeah. We have used every peaceful and lawful means by which to redress our grievances, and our enemies just will not stop.
We're not non-violent. We'll fucking kill these people if we have to.
I do not want violence with you, all right? I'm terrified. I'm afraid you're going to kill me. I really am, all right? Because our rivals are a bunch of stupid animals who don't pay attention, they couldn't just get out of the way of his car, and some people got hurt. Now, everybody in their mother wants to fucking ruin my life, okay? I think that a lot more people are going to die before we're done here, frankly. I don't know what to do. I've emailed Stephen Tenney of the Keene Police Department. I'm sorry. These people want violence, and the right is just meeting market demand. I don't know what to do. I need guidance.
Well, if you don't know what to do, stop going to hate rallies. That'll be a start. And then call Uncle Rich. Judy, can you put up our phone number? Do we have it? There we go. Guys, you want to call in? You got something you want to beef about? I'm here. So we were hoping we could do a Facebook Live, but that didn't work out. Hey, but in the next quarter, 9 of our 13 shows are going to be live. So we're going to really start to get into the live aspect of this. But, you know, so now we have Mr. Tough Guy, and now Mr. Tough Guy fears arrest. And why does he fear arrest? Well, let's let him explain it to you. Judy, clip 12, please.
Now, one man who tonight says he fears arrest is a white supremacist named Christopher Cantwell. He was featured in a Vice documentary covering some of the violence last weekend, including that torch march on the UVA campus on Friday night. Cantwell was also at the rally on Saturday, but tonight he seems to be in a different frame of mind. He posted a video late today in which he is seen crying and saying that he fears arrest. He fears that a warrant is out for his arrest. Take a listen to what he said.
Look at the AK-47.
We have done everything in our power to keep this peaceful, you know? I know we talk a lot of on the internet, right? But like literally, Jason Kessler applied for a permit like months ago for this, okay? When they yanked our permit, we went to the ACLU and we went to court and we won. We've been coordinating with law enforcement the entire time. Every step of the way, we've tried to do the right thing. And they just won't stop.
We reached out to Charlottesville city officials to see if an arrest warrant is indeed out for Christopher Cantwell. They have not gotten back to us on that.
Guys, you know, one of the worst parts of these protesters and what they try to do and when they get together with their hate rallies is a lot of times they have what's known as copycat imitators. You know, people that show up, they want to be part of the action. They want to get in on things, you know? Well, we're going to show you a white supremacist who all of a sudden doesn't want to be a white supremacist anymore. And watch how he strips his shirt off so he can go undercover. But the other thing that I want you to see is look at the energy drinks that this guy has in his hands. He's got 2 of these giant energy drinks, and, you know, I wonder if this is how people like Uncle Joey are getting juiced up. You know, because the clip after this clip, we're going to show you what's in the energy drinks, and you'll wonder why these people are a bunch of Fruit Loops. So, Judy, let's start with clip number, clip number 13, please. Here goes the shirt.
What's up? I'm not really white power, man. I just came here for the fun. Fuck. No. I'm sorry.
You can't just take your costume off.
What the fuck is that?
Don't jump! By authority of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Has been declared an unlawful assembly. Must leave the area now.
What happened?
Scared the shit out of me.
So you just came here for the fun?
Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah. So you're not a real white supremacist.
Barely.
Leave the area now.
It's kind of a fun idea.
Which part?
Just being able to say like white power, you know?
It's a big question, man. Are you going to put the uniform back on? What's the plan? You're a white supremacist until people start chasing you, and then you take the uniform off. So are you going to put it back on? Or put it?
Quite honest.
Yeah.
I love to be offensive. It's fun.
So it's like a cosplay. So, but are you going to put your white supremacist uniform back on? You took it off when people were chasing you. Okay.
Guys, this ain't a joke. This ain't a game. This ain't a sport. This is nonsense. And it's people like that, they got to be chastised. You got to make them look like a bunch of monkeys. And, I tell you, like I pointed out to you, the energy drinks. Guys, I never really realized what's in some of these energy drinks. But these things are actually putting some people into hospitals. So, Judy, let's take a look at clip number 14 and see what's happening with energy drinks. 20,000 people visited emergency rooms due to energy drinks in 2011. Look at this. Some have been fatal. And that's what the kid had in his hands, wasn't it, guys? No one has ever overdosed on marijuana. It's not addictive. It can replace a lot of other drugs. The federal government puts weed on the same level as heroin. Why would they put it on the same level as heroin? So you can't sell it. But guys, now we're going to take a look at what's actually in energy drinks. So Judy, let's have some fun with clip number 15.
Energy drinks. They're cheap, high octane, and readily available in stores. Maybe too readily available. A recent study found that over 40% of all energy drink-related calls to poison control centers in the U.S. were for kids under 6, many of them suffering serious nervous system and heart symptoms.
A can or a bottle of an energy drink could have as much as 500 milligrams of caffeine, which is equal to about 14 cans of soda. So way higher than you'd want a child to have. Sometimes these drinks aren't labeled well, so you don't see what the ingredients could be, including the high amounts of caffeine, and a child may think it's the same as any type of soda or juice that their parents might be okay with giving them.
Dr. Shu says the dangers of overconsumption for kids and even adults vary from the minor,
as simple as headaches or some shakiness and jitteriness, but they could even be more serious, like problems with your heart rhythm, where your heart's irregular and beats too fast, or even seizures.
The risks are particularly high, she says, for kids who already take stimulant medications for things like ADHD, and older kids who may mix the energy drinks with alcohol. But it's not just the caffeine and other stimulants raising concerns. The drinks are also often filled with sugar.
Too much of that sugar can cause weight gain as well as cavities.
In general, Dr. Shu says it's best to keep kids away from anything but the basics.
For the most part, all the fluid that your body needs can be found in water and in milk and maybe in some 100% fruit juice. You really don't need what's marketed as sports drinks with electrolytes unless you're doing some really vigorous physical exercise.
And to prevent your child from accidentally drinking an energy drink, she says keep them locked up.
I encourage parents to treat energy drinks like they would with any kind of drug or medicine or household chemical. Keep them out of the reach of kids. Don't put alcohol near the reach of kids. Keep any cleaning supplies out, and also keep your energy drinks away.
Holly Furfer, CNN.
So now we got to keep our energy drinks locked up. What, in a liquor cabinet? But she said that one can was equal to 14 cans of soda. Can you imagine one kid drinking 14 cans of soda? Be bouncing off the wall. But guys, you would think corporate America, supports stuff like this, because I think they said it's a $4 billion industry. But when it comes to corporate America, there are certain things that even corporate America will bail on. And one of the things is exactly what Trump is starting to promote. Why did they all leave his councils? Why is everybody dropping out? They can't deal with the guy. So Judy, Let's prove why America is turning its back on our president. Clip number 16, please. Apple is stopping Apple Pay. Those are the sites that sell the products with the Nazi logo. Good. Violates everybody's guidelines. Let's be honest with each other. Apple's not by itself, guys. It's spreading. Daddy and Google. Take them off too. Goodbye. Guys, you know, sometimes free speech, you know, if you're going to sell hate and if you're going to promote violence, hey, we don't have room for that in this country. I'm sorry. You're going to have to peddle your garbage somewhere else. And guys, you know, the next clip is sometimes it's not bad to ban what's bad. So, Judy, let's prove our point with clip 17. That's it, go daddy. That's it. Knock them off. Hey, if you violate the terms, your history. Hard to believe, huh? The Daily Stormer. Can you imagine this? Why? Is that because they're stormtroopers? Are they going to be jackbooted stormtroopers? Like what George Carlin said, when the revolution happens, it's not going to come from jackbooted thugs, you know, wearing jackboots. You know, it's going to come from people wearing T-shirts, smiley face T-shirts with sneakers. And guys, that's what's happening. But, you know, even the CEOs, America's CEOs, are fleeing en masse. And why? Because you can't sell your products when you're trying to sell them with hate. You know what I mean? People don't want to buy hateful products. And the CEOs are going to leave. They're going to do what's best for the shareholders. So, Judy, let's have clip number 18, please.
I am Jesse Dollemore with the Occupy Democrats Report. Well, Donald Trump's sphere is beginning to collapse. Almost immediately after he sided with white supremacists and said there were many good people on the side of the Nazis in Charlottesville, CEOs who were part of his Economic Advisory Council started peeling off, heading for the exits, and announcing publicly that they wanted nothing to do with an unabashed supporter of Nazis and alt-right white supremacists. First, multiple CEOs who were members of the Manufacturing Council announced their resignation, forcing Donald Trump to put his tail between his legs and shutter the effort entirely. Then, a dozen members of the Strategic and Policy Forum decided to quit in unison, thereby eliminating the existence of that council altogether. Now we're learning that all 16 members of Donald Trump's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities have resigned, submitting a resignation letter which features the first letters of each paragraph spelling the word resist.
So we'll be able to get these.
It's a nice touch. Listen, if you're a member of Donald Trump's cabinet, or a staffer, an aide, an assistant, an intern, or in any position to advance the destructive agenda of Donald Trump, the clock is ticking. You've got about a week or so to make your arrangements and announce your resignation as well. Look, it's bad enough that you accepted a position within this subversive administration in the first place. But after Donald Trump's clear message of support for Nazis and alt-right white supremacist terrorists, if you choose to stay, we will know with whom you stand. We will know where your loyalties lie if you stay. You are choosing a man who sides with racism and bigotry. Do you think there's a difference between a racist sympathizer and a racist? Because there's not. Now is the time to show your mettle. Now is the time to choose your country. Right now is the time.
Button out there? Somebody did something. Yeah, Judy was in here talking to me, so I'm impressed. Somebody made something happen. But guys, on this show, when we want to find out the truth, what's the one source that we always love going to? None other than my boy Bernie. So Judy, let's see what Bernie has to say about this whole Trump fiasco that happened in Charlottesville. So let's have clip number 19, please.
What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt? You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now.
How much, if any, responsibility do you think that the Trump administration has for conjuring that behavior?
Look, I think it is when you have a president who doesn't have the guts to say what the vast majority of the people understand to be true, that white supremacy and neo-Nazism have got to be condemned. He can't even do that. The message he is sending out to racists and neo-Nazis all over the country is it's okay. Hey, in fact, you heard some language for that. President hasn't condemned us. Why don't we do more rallies? Why don't we spread the word of white supremacy and racism and neo-Nazism? So do I think the president bears some responsibility for that? Absolutely, yes.
Attaboy, Bernie. Bernie takes no prisoners. And I tell you, he looks you right in the eye and he tells you the truth. And the next clip that we're going to do, let's see, we're going to have some fun because this is a clip that shows what Trump hasn't done in his first 6 months. So, Judy, let's see, we always hear Trump bragging about how much he has done. Let's see what actually he hasn't done. So, Judy, clip number 20, please.
After the other. So in no particular order, President Trump in the last 4 weeks has fires his chief strategist, fires his chief of staff, hires a new one, hires a new communications director, fires him, hires a new one, his fourth in 7 months, publicly shames his attorney general multiple times, loses a health care bill, publicly shames the 3 Republicans who voted against it multiple times, bans transgender individuals from the military without telling the military, ticks off the Boy Scouts, makes up a phone call with said scouts, makes up another phone call with the president of Mexico, thanks Vladimir Putin for expelling Americans, hundreds of them, takes days to sign a bipartisan sanctions bill and then blasts Congress for making him sign it, condemns leaks, but then says he likes the leaks because it shows people love him. Hold on a second. Sorry, this is long. Encourages police officers to be rough with suspects during arrests, publicly shames the Republican leader he needs to get anything done multiple times, embraces an unpassable immigration plan that sparks a debate about the Statue of Liberty and the definition of cosmopolitan. He threatens North Korea with nuclear war, tells Guam it'll help tourism. Then his own chief strategist calls his bluff and says, nah, there's no military option in North Korea. Threatens Venezuela with a military option, After a Nazi rally in which someone was murdered, the president blames both sides. After the backlash, cleans it up, denounces those white supremacists, but then hours later erases all of it and makes everything worse by again blaming both sides, saying there were fine people there. No, they weren't. They were Nazis. Suggests there's no difference between George Washington and Robert E. Lee. Publicly shames CEOs who abandon him, then loses 2 of his entire jobs councils after execs jump ship. Considers a pardon for, of all people, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, all the while he's facing these accusations of racism. By the way, plugs his winery in Virginia when asked if he will, as president, visit Charlottesville. Tells the world to study a lie during a terror attack and gets condemnations from Democrats, Republicans, former presidents, world leaders, allies, his own staff, and the Pope. And still has no regrets.
Boy, oh boy, Trump keeps us busy, doesn't he? I mean, it's really every day. It's like watching a soap opera, a reality show. And guys, it's getting to the point where everybody hates Trump, especially New York. So, Judy, we're going to play clip number 21, and we're going to end with clip number 23. So let's have clip number 21 to show New York.
Well, good morning to you as well. The president makes his first trip back to his home at Trump Tower since he took office in January, and he is literally met by the maddening crowd. Thousands of protesters have been standing around Trump Tower since Sunday, shouting and holding up anti-Trump signs. A huge inflatable rat resembling the president was also displayed in front of the Plaza Hotel. The protesters say they are angry by the president's response to the deadly racial violence in Virginia. They also got angry with police at Trump Tower.
John Wayne, Uncle Joey. He always happens to sneak in there, doesn't he? Guys, it's been a pleasure. Who knows what's going to happen this week with Trump, but we'll see you next week. Same time live. Take care, everybody.